My favorite part is dressing up. We always do a family costume, so we all match, and last year we did the Wizard of Oz.
I'm Sydney Schallwecker for UT10 News, bringing you the 3 things your family needs to know to stay safe this Halloween.
Making a splash, but not just here. I'm Jamal McKinney with the latest.
Holiday hurdles. I'm Belle Fahey on how businesses are handling the holiday season.
UT10 News starts now. Help for the holidays. The big shopping season is almost here, but how will the economic downturn impact those looking for seasonal work?
Yeah, the search for seasonal workers is underway, and while corporate leaders worry that inflation may take a toll on holiday shopping this year, experts are saying that there is still plenty of open jobs and some incentives for those who look hard enough. Walmart recently made headlines for their cautious approach to the 2022 holiday season, but at other stores across the country,
they're hiring, and they got those hiring signs all over the place. So it's a good time to be a worker.
But not as good for the employers this year.
It wouldn't be surprising that that their numbers are going down because the cost of new employees is going up.
On the other hand, Kohl's announced that they will be hiring roughly the same amount of associates as last year, with a few extra incentives. For the holiday season, stores like Kohl's are offering up to $100 to $400 bonuses for seasonal workers, adding a little extra cash into their pockets. This puts a greater strain on local business owners, like many of the ones that belong to the Maumee Chamber of Commerce.
The seasonal employment, especially over the next couple of months, is going to be hard on businesses because in order to attract those workers, they're going to have to offer a higher wage.
Especially retail establishments. They need people, they need seasonal people. This is a great time to, for students, when you're going on break, to help someone fill in.
The assistant director of the Maumee Chamber of Commerce says the biggest needs now are for workers in the restaurant industry, retail stores, and K-12 teachers. While Christmas is just around the corner, it's officially spooky season. And this year, parents say that they are more fearful for their children's safety after a local police department shared these photos on their Facebook page.
Fostoria police say last year an observant child found this sewing needle in a Kit Kat bar that parents claim came from a Fostoria neighborhood on Halloween. UT10's Sydney Schallwecker joins us now, live with how some local small business owners offered a safe trick-or-treat option and with some safety tips for parents. Sydney?
This pop-up event was hosted by a local business owner to support small businesses and provide a safe place for trick-or-treaters. But if you do choose to take the kids out for a traditional door-to-door trick-or-treating, there are still ways to do so safely.
Event to bring the community together, show off our local businesses, and also give the kids a chance to show off their groovy costumes.
And
get candy. Getting treats. Get the candy.
And getting it here makes these parents feel better.
You just can't trust anyone nowadays.
Parents of Toledo have many ways to keep their children safe on Halloween. The top of these include making sure that they wear glow or reflective clothing to make them visible to cars, making sure that they check their candy at the end of the night for any kind of issues or anything that could be wrong or look out of place.
Make sure their candy isn't tampered with or opened.
And making sure that their children travel with a buddy or with them themselves.
We go with them. We always go in a neighborhood that we're familiar with.
I make sure they're actually by my side. Yeah, I hold them tight, because it gets crazy.
If you're still searching for a costume, the experts recommend, as mentioned, reflective clothing and shoes that fit well, and shorter costumes to prevent tripping, entanglement, or contact with flame.
It's October, but it feels like Black Friday every day at a local pumpkin farm. The Flights family of Oregon says they prepare all year for the short-lived spooky season. Lately, families have poured in to buy pumpkins, take hay rides, and eat donuts. The farm is open until the end of the month. As winter approaches, so does flu season. Toledo is running a series of flu shot clinics for the next 4 weeks. This comes after the announcement that all on-campus students and many employees are required to be vaccinated against influenza. All students must provide proof of vaccination by December 1st. The free vaccines are available on both Maine and Health and Science campuses. For more information, visit our website, ut10news.com. Now let's turn things over to Crystal with a look at news making headlines across America.
We begin with a lucky lotto ticket. The Associated Press reports one of 2 winning lottery tickets worth a total of nearly $500 million was purchased in Fort Myers, Florida, a city recently hit by Hurricane Ian. The hurricane claimed more than 100 lives as the 3rd deadliest storm to hit the mainland this century. The winning ticket holder has 180 days to claim their prize. The other winning ticket was bought in California. A new US report shows pregnancy-related deaths rose nearly 80% since 2018, and COVID is mostly to blame. The US Government Accountability Office says a quarter of the pregnancy-related deaths were due to the pandemic and disproportionately impacted Black and Hispanic women. It wasn't just COVID itself, but the ripple effects like access to care, transportation, and technology making matters worse for expectant mums. An update to a story we brought you 2 weeks ago. Californians can rest easy following the arrest of a mission-oriented murderer that has been terrorizing the community since July. The AP reports the suspect was taken into custody around 2 a.m. on Saturday. Police believe they stopped him while he was searching for another victim. The suspected serial killer is charged with the murder of 3 men, but police also believe he is responsible for the death of 2 others. A new government website has gone live, and it's caused a stir. President Biden announced the start of a new application process as part of his student debt cancellation plan, and according to the AP, 8 million borrowers already applied over the weekend. 6 Republican-led states have already issued lawsuits in an attempt to block the plan, but Biden believes the lawsuits will not ultimately affect the program. And finally, the city of Toledo released its first ever disparity study this week. It found overall the city does a good job of providing access to women and minority-owned businesses to procure public contracts, but more could be done to improve the process. 12 recommendations were made to the city, including hiring additional staff and starting an economic development loan program. We have a link to the full report as well as the city's next steps on our website, ut10news.com. Now it's time to turn things over to Jaman with the sports report.
Yeah, I hear that there were some standout performances this week. That game, not gonna lie, for the football team had me kind of scared.
I understand. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Belle. So today we get a chance to break down a record performance by Daquan Finn at quarterback. We'll also reveal our UT10 Athlete of the Week and much more coming up.
Broadcasting live from 88.3 WXUT Studio, I'm Crystal Clark.
Let's begin.
Love the UT10 student newscast? You'll love the student-run WXUT Weekly News Update. The WXUT Weekly News Update gives you the lowdown on campus, city, state, and nationwide happenings.
It's now been almost 2 months into Russia's war on Ukraine.
All researched and reported by the students of UT10 News. Catch the show at 7:45 a.m. Saturdays on 88.3 FM WXUT.
Where do pro athletes start? University sports. Jaman McKinney is introducing Athlete of the Week, a new segment introducing a different U Toledo MVP each week, spotlighting their sports, academic, and community achievements.
The biggest step would be improving mentally.
I'm just competitive. Fans, get excited.
He's a 1%, 2% guy.
Tune in weekly to the UT10 student newscast to catch these athletes before they go pro.
You now have more ways to watch the University of Toledo's award-winning student newscast. Thanks to our broadcast partners, you can catch UT10 News and sports in more places. We're live at ut10news.com and on YouTube Thursdays at noon and 12:30. Catch replays on Buckeye Channels 109 and 609 on Thursday evenings at 5 and 5:30 and Sundays at 9 a.m. And on WGTE Public Media Friday evenings at 6:30.
I'm Jamal McKinney, and this is your UT10 Sports Report. It was a wild game this past weekend at the Glass Bowl between Kent State and Toledo. Those in attendance witnessed a record-breaking Heisman Trophy-type performance from quarterback Daquan Finn right before their own eyes. After the team fell down 21-0 in the first quarter, Finn and the Rockets came alive. Finn during the game set a Toledo Rockets record with 7 total touchdowns scored and became the 7th player this season in all college football to throw for at least six touchdown passes in a game. The Rockets will go on to win the game by the final score of 31-52. On Saturday, October 29th, at noon kickoff time, the Rockets will travel to face Eastern Michigan for their next game. Now moving on to some women's soccer. On a long, grueling, sunny day, the Rockets as a whole put together a great defensive effort versus the Miami Redhawks. Senior Riley Michaels came through in the game with 2 big-time saves. The Rockets goalkeeper Carson Hill also dialed in a strong performance, helping keep the Redhawks scoreless in the game. The contest in the end would end in a draw. The Rockets will next take on Ohio University today at home at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. People at the University of Toledo may recognize Madison Giglio as a bright Division I athlete who fell in love with swimming and diving at only 15 years old. I recently went behind the scenes, however, to find that there's much more to Madison's identity than just being beside the pool. Everyone can make a splash on campus, but for Madison Giglio, it's quite literal.
How she's always being supportive within the diving group and how she's just a great diver and how they all kind of look up to her.
Maddie's improved every single year so far. Last year she had like a really standout year and moved up a lot in the conference.
So I originally was a gymnast growing up, and then I found my love for diving in high school.
Madison's academic All-MAC and Scholar All-American honors have helped add to Toledo's history.
You know, we had the top GPA in all Division I women's swimming and diving last fall semester and second only to Stanford in the spring.
I feel like I set a good example, like both in the pool and the classroom. School is really important to me, and I know like a lot of us will go do homework together.
Madison also has taken the initiative to make potential life-lasting changes through an even bigger cause.
I like to promote organ donation and transplantation. I have a club on campus called Students for Hope, and I had a best friend that passed and was an organ donor, and I really do my club and volunteer in honor of her, and really it just put me in the mindset that tomorrow is never really guaranteed, so put everything out there every day.
Madison also says her favorite genre of music to listen to before performing is indeed country music. She also is currently majoring in civil engineering and minoring in math. Madison, along with head coach Bree Globig, point out the biggest goals for the team is to continue to simply move up in the MAC. It is now time to talk some Division I women's cross country. Looking at the current national rankings, NC State, New Mexico, Oklahoma State, Northern Arizona, BYU, Notre Dame, Alabama, North Carolina, Stanford, and Utah round out the top 10. But wait, there's one more potential surprise that I would like to share with you all tuning in here today. Yes, you see it. Inside the top 20, we have the Toledo Rockets ranked as the 16th best team in the country, the second highest ranking in school history. Congratulations to everyone on the team for working so hard, including our very own Crystal Clark. And we hope the success continues and that you guys continue to progress throughout the year and hopefully maybe even move up in the rankings, you know?
Yeah, go Crystal. Like to hope so. Thank you, Jaman. That's it for UT10 News.
Remember, you can catch the newscast replays on YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on social media and listen to 88.3 WXUT FM Saturday mornings at 7:45 for the UT10 News Weekly Update. We'll see you next week.